Alrighty, guys, we are live. We have Thursday night. I'm sorry, what is it? Star Wars Adventures Thursday night table. We have the whole crew here tonight, plus one extra new guy. Everybody say hi to David.
Hi, David.
Hey, Dave! Yay! Yep, hugs and kisses around.
Hello.
None of that warm shower and sharing spit, though. Just friendly heterosexual hugging, no grab ass. So, all right, last week when we ended, you guys had basically gotten Ubben out of the prison that turned out to be a prison below an old 1,000-year-old Galactic Republic prison, being used by the Inquisitores for some unknown reason. You guys had made your way through there, found Ubben, had escaped the prison section, being chased by stormtroopers. Rito, who had twisted his ankle earlier in the evening with a complication and moving at a reduced speed, got shot twice and wounded. At one point, Dax was laying down covering fire while Jarl ran out, grabbed Rito, slung him across his back in sort of like a fireman's carry, and everybody took off for the ship which was on the top of the mesa or the table. And you guys got out there, stormtroopers chasing you. Meeps had gotten the ship up and running and waiting for Dax and crew to show up. You guys got there. Another complication occurred while you guys were trying to fly away. A wall was smacked and subsequently fell across the top of the ship, pinning it momentarily to the ground. You guys were able to shake yourself out of that and head for the outer atmosphere. As you guys are getting ready to head for hyperspace, you picked up on your sensors a planetary missile had been launched at you, not only one but two. You juked and tried to get away from it, were hit once, were heavily or severely damaged, badly. You guys are just getting ready to head into hyperspace, and you believe you're hit by another one, but you're unsure, and you guys are thrown into hyperspace, and you immediately could feel from the way the ship was jostling that something bad had happened. And that is where we left off. Does that pretty much how everybody remembers it?
Yep.
Okay, if I remember correctly, Dax, you'd pretty much gotten up there and said, Meeps, get to your station, and took over. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And then Meeps had went off and made an astrogation roll, which was really, really bad, if I remember correctly. Rolled a 1, and some other stuff just was really low rolls. Does that sound right?
Yes.
All
Well,
right.
that's not the way I remember it. But
I remember it being all sunshine and rainbows.
Yes, unicorns and virgins for all my men. All right, so this is what happens. You guys, this is just moments after you guys entered into hyperspace. The ship is shaking violently, Dax. Alarms are going off. There are lights lighting up. Entire banks or panels of lights are flashing red danger signals to you. The ship feels like it's going to shake itself apart. An emergency override kicks in, and you guys are kicked right back out of hyperspace. You're not really quite sure where you're at, what direction you're going. As the ship exits hyperspace, you can think of it like this. If you're looking at the screen in front of you, hyperspace, the ship has just exited hyperspace in front of you. The front is slowly starting to come down as the back comes up over the top and does sort of like a forward roll, lazy roll in space towards the camera. And you guys are back in standard space at this point. What is everybody doing? I know that Rito is hurt. Dax and Meepers are behind the controls.
Charles unconscious.
Jarl's unconscious.
Yep.
How'd you get unconscious?
I collapsed from stamina.
Oh, that's right, from the stamina thing from bringing Dax back. All right, so Ubben, you probably are not too terribly far from him. You guys had run across this large open field through a very hazy oxygen atmosphere that was full of particulate matter, sort of like dust and small pebbles and stuff like that. Jarl is a rather large basilisk. I mean, they're not built for speed. They're more built for aquatic settings, stuff like that. Stuff that they can use their bodies a little bit easier. And so he basically ran, like an entire football field and a half with Rito on his back. So Rito, you're laying in the hallway, sort of with your back up against one of the corridor walls. Jarl is passed out on the floor in front of you. Ubben is not too terribly far from you. Basically what had happened, you guys had entered the ship. Dax has gotten up, run to the front, and momentarily there was a big smashing crash from the back of the ship. Sort of a funny lurching feel in your stomach. There was the obvious jump to hyperspace, the ship vibrating out of control. Felt like things were just going to absolutely come apart, and then it ended. So, Jarl, go ahead. I'm going to say, well, let's see. Rito, why don't you go ahead and do some first aid on him, see if you can get him to recover. Oh, I take that back.
No.
Ubben, why don't you do that, seeing as Rito is like all shot up?
Yeah, I'm terrible right now.
So in this case, you kind of look over at Rito. Rito tosses you one of his health packs or med packs, and sort of like Uta Guta. Yeah, you might want to help him out there a little bit, there, big guy, Uta Guta.
Okay, now would I understand what he's saying to me, or would I just get
Yes,
the
you would
gist of it?
understand. I'm not going to make you make a language roll for that.
All right, let me see.
And that would be a tech skill. So if you open up your character sheet and take a look at that, you don't have the first aid skill, so it defaults to tech. So you'd make a 2D tech roll.
What the? How much?
You hit character point, not dice pool.
Sorry about that.
That's all right, man. It's a learning curve. Don't sweat it. Now, if it was like the second or third time we got together, I'd be like, bitch, what's your problem? All right, that's...
I think I did terribly there.
Basically, we have a sliding scale. It's very easy, moderate, difficult, very difficult, and heroic. And what that means is that there is a space of numbers for each one of those difficulty levels. Depending upon how hard or easy I think it is within that range, I set a target number for you. So, for example, he is just sort of winded and stuff like that. So you're just doing a stabilization roll, which should be just very easy, which means you just have to roll somewhere between a 1 and a 5. And even if it wasn't a 1 to a 5, say I said it was supposed to be an easy roll, that'd be a 6 to a 10, which you rolled on the low end of it. And if I was feeling generous or something just like this, he's just, exhausted, I would probably put it on the low end of that anyway, of the spectrum, so I'd say either a 6 or a 7, which was sufficient. So you've done that, you've stabilized him, you've given him like a glucose candy bar or something like that, and sort of like a low-grade slap patch of stim, and Jarl comes around quickly. So Jarl, you come awake, and this is pretty much what you see is Ubben, the Ithorian, is sort of leaning over the top of you. He's got a candy bar, half eaten. He sort of tastes like nuts and granola in your mouth. And no, it's not that kind of an adventure. Stop thinking that way. And you just kind of like, listen, there you go.
Jarl just let him snatch the candy bar out of his hand. Thanks, Professor. And what's going on? Looks at Rito, looking around.
Yep, Rito, who is currently wounded twice, has 2 very bad blaster shots on his back. How do you want that? You want one of those in the leg, one in the back? What do you think, Rito?
I was thinking maybe, one in the leg, and one in the back sounds great.
All right, or else I could have one in each cheek.
Nah, that's okay.
Okay,
how about one in the cheek?
Stormtroopers really nailed you.
Okay, yeah, one in the cheek, and then the other one a little bit lower.
Okay. You got shot in the taint. All right, well, anyways, he's been shot in the back at least twice. So on his back area, and he is not feeling the greatest at all. And you can definitely feel, things are not right. That much is true. All right, I'm going to go ahead and go back to Dax and Meepers. All right, you guys are up in the cockpit, and you're looking at space just sort of like flip end over end slowly in your canopy, your cockpit canopy. What are you guys going to do?
I look at Dax and go, Durka Meeper Durka, to do some pilot shit here.
Dax, make sure he has control of the ship. He's checking to make sure that he's not picking up any other ships around. And he turns to Meep and tells him, get me a sensor readout of this area, tell me where we are, and see if you can find a place for us to land for repairs.
Meeper's Durka. Aye, aye, Captain.
All right, so at this point, you are going to try and get the ship under control and sort of
Correct.
assess its damage. And Meep is going to go ahead and do a sensor scan to see, or try and figure out where you guys are at. Well, first of all, to figure out if there's anybody else around, and second of all, to find out where you're at so that you can ascertain where you can go for repairs. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right. Oh, Dax, you moved. That's the reason I had a brain cramp there. All right. Looking down at the controls, very quickly, you can ascertain that your ship has been severely damaged. Okay? It is not good. Now, what this means mechanically is, I do believe I said severely. Let me double check that to make sure. Because you guys took one hell of a whack at the end there. Yeah, you are what is called heavily damaged. As per the rules, heavily damaged ships have taken a much more serious amount of damage. If a heavily damaged ship is lightly damaged or heavily damaged again, it becomes severely damaged. And it becomes severely damaged. 112, blah, 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 blah. System which is affected. All right, so basically, what happens is at this point, if you were to become severely damaged, then you are one level from just being dead. The ship blows up, vacuums out to space, etc. So this ship is definitely seeing much better days. All right, so the first thing you notice is that the hyperspace and the sublight engines are offline completely. You have some attitude control or altitude. I'm sorry, attitude. Yeah, you have some maneuvering thrusters and stuff of that nature. You could, if you wanted to, arrest the spin of the ship and get it into a more, view-friendly sort of state if you want.
That is what I will do.
All right, go ahead and make a Starship piloting.
I'm happy with that.
Okay. You feel that the ship is definitely fighting you. I mean, it is sluggish and then some. And you actually have to fight the ship to actually get it to do what it is you want it to do. But you finally do, and you don't completely arrest the forward rotation on it, but enough of it that it's going to be, you've done it as best you can. Okay, which is a testament to your skill as a pilot. Meep, why don't you go ahead and make a sensor roll for me, please? If you don't have it, it defaults to mechanical.
I get to add the ship sensors into it, do I not?
It depends on the type of scan that you're doing. I will give you like a 1D bonus, but Okay, your first roll was to just sort of assess the area that you're at. You are in a system. It has a single binary star. It seems to have a large energy contrail, almost like a halo, around it. Appears to be a lifeless planet, not too terribly far. Around that appears to be a bit of a sporadic asteroid field, not nearly as dense as a typical asteroid field, but there are a lot of moving rocks, space debris of that type. Probably stuff that at one time, given enough time, would coalesce into perhaps a moon. And that is what you see. Heading on back to you, Dax. What was the second thing that you wanted to do? You wanted to...
No, Dax was I issued orders to Meep, and I was getting control of the ship.
All right, so you've done that. All right, so Meeps, at this point, go ahead and roll a second roll. Sorry, why don't you make an astrogation roll to see if you can figure out approximately where you're at. Okay, that is a great roll. All right, it's going to take you probably about 30 minutes to calculate this out. So I'm going to come back and tell you what happens at the end of that.
In the meantime, I'm going to tell the captain, watch out for the space debris.
Yep. And Dax, you know that it's going to take him probably at least 20 minutes to half an hour for him to calculate where you guys are approximately.
All right, and while he's doing that, I want to see if I can eye a potential area to try to go to land.
Okay. Keeping in mind that all you have at this point is sporadic maneuvering jets or maneuvering thrusters. You don't have ion drive. You don't have hyperspace.
Correct.
Okay. So at best, you're kind of be looking for a place that maybe, you know, after a couple of days, you might be able to move closer to.
Gotcha. All right, while he's figuring out where we are, I
Okay.
want to go in the back and see if I can get this sublight engine online.
All right. So you're heading back towards the engineering area. All right.
Yeah, and before I leave, I tell Meep, make sure you keep an eye on the sensors also while you're doing that to make sure if anybody's coming or anything.
I mumbled to myself under my breath. God, meepers. I got to do everything myself around here.
Meeper.
Meeper.
All right. So you're heading back towards the engineering section. You come down the hallway. You see Jarl and Rito and Umbin all sort of just kind of like collectively in a group, not too far from the exit for the ship and whatever the hell you call that, the exit hatch. On your way to engineering.
What's going on, Captain?
Ship's pretty damaged. Trying to get it back online.
Could you use some hands?
He holds up 4.
Not unless you know how to fix this bad boy.
I do.
So come help.
All right. And he looks at the doc, looks at Umbin, and gives him a friendly slap on the shoulder and goes, "Let's see if we can patch good old Rito up," and waddles off.
All right. So it's Rito and Dad at this point.
Am I conscious?
Yes.
Okay.
You never lost consciousness.
Okay, I was just wondering about that.
I mean, if you want
You're just
to.
laying on the floor going, I've been shot.
I mean, if you think it adds to the narration and you want to be passed out for a little while, you certainly can narrate that out if you want.
No, I'm just gonna kind of like, I'm kind of propped up in the back of the hold. If I'm not mistaken, right?
Leaning up against the hall.
Yeah. You know, I'm just gonna be like, you know, hollering out. Can I get a little help, please? Not feeling too hot at the moment.
All right.
He's talking to me, right?
Yep. You are the only two in the hallway at this point.
Lo, what are you feeling, Lo?
Well, I have this sharp pain in my ass. I need some help, please.
I feel like I've been to a hut party and I've been kissed.
Yeah, you know, shooting, pain doesn't go well with me. Patch me up, please.
Lo, sure thing, friend. I will try. Lo.
All right. Probably going to want to grab yourself another med pack. In fact, well, I'll just let you use the one that you have right now. And this is one of those things where he is he's wounded too, which is pretty severe. But you can go ahead and try this. So if you feeling froggy, go ahead and roll your first aid, which is going to default to your tech.
Here's hoping I don't pull a Zoidberg. Uh-oh.
Okay, you happy with that?
I guess that's the best I can do.
Well, if you want, you can spend a character point.
I'll try and spend one.
All right. Go ahead and use your macro. So now you have a 7. You happy with that roll?
That's better.
All right, excellent. I will go ahead and change it on your character for you so that there you go. Just one less thing you have to worry about. All right, that is sufficient. Rito, you feel much better. He ends up slapping a back-to-patch, which actually has some pain meds on it as well. On one of your wounds, helps dress up the other one so it doesn't get any worse. And you move from being wounded 2 to wounded 1.
Okay, let me see if I remember how to do that.
Well, it already shows you as having wound 1.
Okay.
And the
So
best
you are-
part of it is I didn't accidentally graft your arm to the top of your head.
Exactly. So you are feeling much better at this point, but you've definitely had much better days.
Right.
Anything else you guys want to do?
I'm gonna say thanks, Doc. Appreciate it. I feel much better. How's Jarl doing? Is Jarl patched up? Kind of holler out for Jarl just a bit.
Okay. He doesn't hear you. He's off banging and clanking in the engineering area.
I say, Lo, you are welcome, friend. I'm glad I could help. As for Jarl, I believe he went somewhere to help fix the ship.
Yes. I believe he died when Krypton blew up. But... Sorry, is that the wrong Jarl?
Yeah, that would be the wrong one.
It's just the way it was spelled kind of threw me off.
I thought you were doing
Yeah,
it
but
in
his
character.
hologram lived.
I'm trying. The low is just me trying to say he's talking in Ithorian.
Okay. Dax and Jarl, you guys head on back to the engine room, or the engineering section, and you get back there and you get ready to pop open the door. And Dax, you notice that the section is open to space. It shows it on the monitor before you even open the door.
Oh, shit. Do I have
Would you-
more spacesuits in the ship?
I would say that you would have something short term that you could wear. Maybe not something long term, but definitely something short term.
Well, I tell Joel don't go in
It's,
there. It's opened up, and I'm gonna go put one of the suits on.
You head on back to ship's locker, and you have 2 of them. One of them happens to be triple size.
with 4 arms.
It happens to have 4 arms. Oh my goodness!
Joel, come here. Put this on.
Actually, more than likely, what it's going to do is it's only going to have 2 arms, but he can have 2 arms crossed and have like another arm in there. I mean, not a big deal.
Don't worry, we can jury rig something for you out of some saran wrap, Ziploc bags, and a fishbowl.
Sounds awesome. I spend a fate point, and all of that happens. God, I want to like Fate. I do. I so want to like it.
I do.
Okay. Well, anyway, back to Star Wars. So, you head on back, and you guys are able to jury rig this thing up in such a way that Jarl can use it effectively.
Okay. Seal off the room so it don't affect the rest of the ship and pressurize it, and then open up and go into the engine room.
Okay, you head in here, and not only has it been hulled, but the gravity in this section is off. So you're going to have to default to 0G, which would be defaulting to Dex. So, anyways.
Do we have anything that we can use to hold on to or secure us so we don't blow away into the space out of the ship?
Nope. You just have to be really careful.
All right.
Or you're
Oh,
going.
come on. I pulled that 50 feet of rope out of my backpack. Oh, sorry, wrong system.
I'm sorry. Yep.
Um,
Yeah. I pull out my iron spikes and hammer.
Exactly.
I bring out my
Hold on.
bag of holding.
I put on my wizard hat and robe.
Yes. All right, so you guys are in this room. For the most part, the lights are intermittent and flashing. There's sparks flying from a control panel. You can see On the back portion of the ship, along the hull area, there is a crease. It appears to be buckled in, and you see an entire section, probably 2 meters by meter, just missing, and all you see behind it is blackness of space and stars. And as you're watching it, you see like an asteroid just slowly floating by outside the ship.
Breathtaking, isn't it?
So, what you want me to start on first, Captain?
Well, I'm going to assess the engine.
And you're going for the ion drives, correct? For
Correct.
the normal space engines.
Yes,
Okay.
normal space engine.
Jarl could help you with that. What you would have to do is go ahead and make a command roll, and roll that up for me. See how effective that is.
What am I rolling?
Command. If you don't have command, then it defaults to perception. Because you're going to be taking the lead on repairing your ship. No matter who has the best skill.
It is
And
still
so
your
it
ship.
starts.
Yep. At least we got that out of the way in a hurry. We're just going to say that you are very upset at the level of damage to your ship, and that you just cannot effectively instruct Jarl how to most effectively help you assess the situation. You will get no bonuses for him helping you.
Okay.
So you will just make a straight standard space transports repair roll. I am going to come back to you and head on back to Ubben and Rito. All right, what are you guys going to be doing? We've got some time here to kill. We can either move ahead in the narration if there's not something specific you guys want to do. Otherwise, I'll give you your moment in the sunshine, or else we'll just move ahead.
Well, I get up and I just immediately start looking for the captain. I'll just get up, just kind of like ignore the Ithorian after he helped me. Kind of give him thanks, and I just look for the captain.
Okay, now you realize that the captain did walk through here, and Jarl and him both left, and that the captain said that he was going to engineering to assess the damage to the ship.
All right, well then I'm heading towards engineering.
All right, you get back over there, and you definitely see that there are warning lights, yellow tape, whatever you want, laid out, that you're entering an area that is close to an area that is open to space or vacuum.
Whoa.
And that is definitely the section for engineering. Even from where you're at, you can take a look at it and tell immediately from just the diagnostic panel on the outside of the door that the engineering section is unpressurized.
This doesn't look good. I start hollering out, Dax, where you at?
Okay. He is going to be in space. Sound does not cover carrying
so I'm
space.
just
He's not going to hear you. The only way you would be able to contact him is through a comlink. So I mean, that's really up to you. And I'm not saying you have to.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool role playing. It's like Dax, and of course, the camera pans to him inside with a very, very frustrated, angry look on his face. Jarl kind of like standing in the back with his hands in the air, like, what am I supposed to do to help? And you hear you outside going, Dax, and inside it's just quiet.
Right. I'm just gonna leave engineering, and then just that's it. I'm gonna go sit down in the cargo hold. I mean, not in the cargo hold, but in the ship's quarters areas.
Okay. Abed, what are you doing?
Well, there isn't really much I can do, at least in terms of helping to fix the ship.
Well, it's not your ship, so I mean, it's kind of like one of those things where, I mean, you could go up to the cockpit area if you can make your way up there. You can find the crew lounge-like area, galley section if you want, and just to sort of stay out of the way. Or you can just kind of stay here in the hallway and go, well, you know what, this is as good a place as any.
I guess I'll try and make my way to the cockpit.
Okay. Doesn't take you very long. You make your way up there. You see a Celestin sitting in what is obviously the co-pilot seat. You can look at it and immediately tell that the chair is small-sized, made specifically for his body, and that he is poring over astrogation chart information. Looks like he's doing some calculations and stuff of that nature. He has a holographic display in front of him, going through a bunch of numbers, and you see different planetary bodies and stuff like that. And it's obvious he's taking some measurements.
Could I maybe help him by rolling, knowledge planetary systems?
Not at this time, because he's already started doing the calculations and stuff of that nature in order to give me a roll. So from a metamechanic standpoint, not now. The time to do that is at the beginning. So if you'd been up here you could have helped with what I call a synergy bonus. If there is a skill that reasonably can be explained as being able to help in some way or help augment a person's role, I will allow it. But it has to be done at the beginning. So in this case, no. But you can give moral support. Go Bears. All right, so Meepers, you see the or hear someone approaching and coming into the cockpit behind you. You're really concentrating on your figures and stuff like that. Take sort of a momentary glance over your shoulder, thinking that it's probably Dax. And you're a bit surprised when it is Ubendat, the Ithorian, that you guys just rescued.
Okay. Well, I go ahead and enter the security code into the computer so that if he jumps into the pilot seat, he can't do anything and fuck the ship up.
Okay. You have both of those commands. Those controls are on both sides of the control console, one for co-pilot, one for pilot. So you can do that.
That's what I immediately do. That lock him out so that if he sits down in the captain's chair and hits the controls, nothing will happen.
Okay.
Because Dax has got the ship stabilized; it's not spinning anymore, and I don't want to mess that up.
You didn't want him to hit a control yoke and throw you guys into a spin.
Correct.
Fine, but if it ever comes down to the point where I have to be the one to pilot the ship, everyone else is dead or unconscious, I'm just gonna laugh at you.
All right. So you nonchalantly reach over and just sort of lock out the commands on that side. No big deal.
Yep. And then I go back to my astrogation to make sure that I get this right, because pretty sure the captain's going to know where the hell we're at.
All right. So Uman, you don't really notice anything out of the ordinary of what he's done. He sort of like takes one look back at you and goes back to his calculations. A very unfriendly crew of people, I might add. I mean, seriously, Jarl shows up. Hey, how's it going? Hey, Doc, why don't you patch him up? By the way, fuck off. I'm going to go screw off with Dax. Rito gets all healed up. Hey, Doc, thanks for the repair. Kindly fuck off while I go find something else to do. Goes up to the cockpit. Hey, guys, is there anything I can do? Hey, I'm doing some calculations. Kindly fuck off. I mean, just the most friendly group of people I've ever met in the Star Wars universe.
I'm sorry. Let me reiterate myself. I get up and offer him a pop and some popcorn and give him a seat for the movie, too.
Well, you like a foot massage as well.
I'm thinking of handsy. That's what I was thinking. I mean, you guys got, you mouse guys got real small hands, so.
I'm fucking busy here.
Okay.
Well, I could really use a lozenge. These 12 throats of mine are sore as the Dickens.
All right, so Eben, obviously, I mean,
Get you a salt and protein shake.
with a power boost. Protein boost, that's what it is. All right, basically, Meepers is sort of abrupt with you and goes back to whatever the calculations that he's doing.
Well, I'm still going to try and offer to help.
Okay, well, do so, sir.
Lo, are you sure there's nothing I can do to help with your calculations, Lo?
Durka Meepers, I've got the calculations for where we are, but if you want to watch the sensors in case something should show up while I'm busy, that would be awesome.
Meepers.
Meepers.
Durka.
And I point to the sensors console like he would know what that is.
Okay. Actually, the sensor console would be. You can actually set the controls for immediately behind you. There should be, I believe, there's 3 seats in the cockpit. 2 in the front, co-pilot, co-pilot, and a ancillary station behind.
Yeah, that's the one that Jarl sat on and stretched the seat all out.
Yeah, he stretched it all out because, well, he's a big man.
That's right.
I guess I'll...
Right, you know what? That seat will never be the same.
The armrests are all broken and kind of hanging loose.
Yeah, you kind of look at that chair and go, "Yep, that was ridden hard."
Kind of like Fat Albert sat in a toddler's chair.
He was my favorite. I love Mushmouth.
Yeah.
All right, so Ubben, he pretty much instructs you to watch the sensors.
I'm gonna assume the ancillary-looking console is the sensors one.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I guess I'll head over there.
All right, so you take up a
All
seat
right,
behind
Star
him.
Wars Galaxies, let's dance.
Yep. So you basically take the seat behind the co-pilot, which is Meeps, and sort of like take a look at it. And it looks as though that the sensors are currently running in passive mode, which means they don't have a whole lot of range, but it doesn't send out a ping or a signal that can be readily tracked back to you guys. That's really all you know. You're taking a look at it and going, yeah, I don't really see a whole lot. All right, so Meepers, you made your roll, and you know that you guys are not too terribly far from the... Shoot, I'm trying to remember what it is. You are like halfway between Jovor 5 and Randoon, in a completely different direction than you thought you were.
Can I just ask really quick, what kind of adventures do you guys usually go on where you're just so sure I'm going to steal your ship?
Are you asking that, out of character?
Just out of character.
Okay.
I'm curious.
I you know what? Usually I try and get people to stay as much in first person, but go ahead. I'll go ahead. That's fine. We'll be social for a little bit. Go ahead, guys. Answer the question for the guy.
Meep has had some bad experiences in the past.
Apparently, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think that Pat was playing Meep as only being cautious so that you wouldn't accidentally hit a control and do something by accident. I don't think he did it.
Well,
because you steal the ship.
yes, I was playing off the fact that I just didn't want him to accidentally hit a control and put us to a spin again, but I'm also playing off the fact that Dax has been super, that's my ship, don't touch my ship, what'd you do to my ship? So I know as being his co-pilot that the captain doesn't want just anybody walking in the cockpit and fooling around.
You are such a good co-pilot. I like you.
Yep. He's gonna buy you some extra bedding and maybe a couple carrots.
So that's kind of how I was playing, because Dax is super protective and super, kind of like Han was with the Millennium Falcon. That's my ship. What'd you do to my ship?
You know what we used to do when we wanted to, show our gerbil and hamster that we were real happy with him? We used to give him like about a handful of cotton balls to make his little nest with. So next time you guys stop off somewhere, Dax is probably gonna bring you like a couple packages of cotton balls, some carrots, maybe
I'm not a rat. I'm a Sulston.
some hamster pellets.
Really?
I don't know. You have to ask Dax.
Some miniature burritos. See that YouTube video?
Don't worry.
I
I'll
have
get you
not seen
all
that one.
stacks.
Wait, he's a Sulliston?
Yes.
Oh, then we should just get him some cotton swabs for his ears.
There you go. He might actually like that. Actually, he's the Star Wars version of a Hasidic Jew. So,
Hasidic
anyway.
Jews clean their ears too, buddy.
Yes, they do, but it all has to be kosher.
Anyway, sorry for breaking up the narrative.
No, it's quite all right, man. It wasn't, you are new to the group, and it was a perfectly acceptable question to ask.
So no, I'm not worried that you're going to steal a ship, as if it's going to go anywhere anyway.
True.
I'm more worried of just, like I said, you messing up whatever current telemetry that we're on that the captain put us on, and the fact that he doesn't want anybody messing his ship up, even though it's been shot to shit by the Empire now.
Hey, it's his ship, though.
It's still his ship.
it's his POS.
Even though the ass has been ripped out of it, it's still his ship.
All right, so you're watching the stuff there. Rito, you head on over to the galley living area section, no problem. Pretty much, sit down in a chair, kind of like gingerly scoot yourself up on one cheek.
Is the doc there?
No.
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 Okay. Oh, that's right. He's in the cockpit. That's right. I forgot.
He's in the cockpit.
Hey, Don?
Yeah.
I'd like to bring up the communication system so I can talk to Dax.
Sure, you can do that.
Captain, this is Meepers. Meepers, can you hear me? Meepers?
Can I hear him?
Yeah, comes right across your comm link that comes with your back suit.
Go ahead.
Captain, I've calculated that we are halfway between Jabbar 5 and Randoon.
Which you can immediately, Dax, you recognize that is way not the direction you were going.
This just gets better and better. All right, I copy.
Meepers out, Meeper.
Meeper, Durka, Death to American
Durka.
Jihad.
Death to America, God.
Okay, Dax, go ahead and make a space transport repair roll to ascertain what's going on with the real space engines, the ion drives. Happy at that roll?
Hell yeah.
Okay. You can take a look at it that basically what has happened is one of the ionic scoops on the back of the ship has actually been completely shorn away, completely ripped away. It is gone. There is no fixing it. There is only replacing it. This in turn caused a cascade overflow into one of the power input relay stations, and that section is completely burnt out. There is no fixing, replace only.
Do I have the parts?
This is your ship? No. You might be able to cobble something together that would take care of the relay, but you have nothing that's going to replace the scoop.
Right. Can I rig this thing up enough so I can get it moving?
You might be able to come up with something, but it does not look well. If you're going to get this ship to move, you have to think outside the box. And with that, Ubin, go ahead and make a sensor roll for me. If you don't have the skill, it defaults to tech.
I'm fairly certain I don't. Yeah.
Okay. I do believe your tech is 2D, so just go ahead and roll a 2D for me. Well, hells yeah, look at that.
Wow.
You roll a 16 on a possible 12? Okay.
I guess I did that wrong.
No, that was correct. The wild dice, which is the first dice, which is an exploding die, exploded twice.
Oh.
You notice it's in the brackets all by itself. That would mean that the first one is your wild dice, and all the remaining dice are in the other second set of brackets.
Okay.
So you rolled a 16, which is absolutely wonderful. Happy with that roll?
Yes.
All right. You look down at the sensors, and you notice that there is something approaching. Taking a look at it, you have a brief moment of epiphany, of inspiration, and you can tell immediately by the way that that thing is moving, it is not a piece of space debris. That is a ship. And looking at it, furthermore, you know that it's heading straight for you guys.
Okay, I'm going to notify
Nope,
Meeper.
just do it. Role play it out.
I'm just telling you my action, then I'm going to role play it.
Okay.
Okay. I swivel around in my in the chair,
Yes, the reamed out chair.
the ruined chair.
Actually, Ithorians have a fairly big backside. I would say you're probably comfortable in that chair.
You're welcome.
Thank you. There's some ship showing up on the sensors. Lo. It's moving too fast and too direct to us to be space debris. Beepers?
Okay. I will check out the sensor heading and the sensor reading he's picked up and confirm that he's right, that it is a ship coming straight towards us, and then I will inform the captain, Durka, Meepers, captain, there's a ship approaching. Meepers, sneaker, oh, shit, what do we do? Meepers?
Okay. Well, let's back that up a little bit. Ubin, if you can come up with just a word for the beginning and end of your first-person
forgot
narration?
what I was-
Don't
what
worry
I was
about it.
saying.
I'm just reminding you. Don't feel bad. I'm just, that's my position as a game master, just to remind people of that stuff. Meepers, you swivel around in your seat, jump out of your chair, and head on over there and double check his sensor readings. It is very apparent that it is obviously a ship. It is not moving at a super fast pace at you. In fact, it seems to be just sort of nonchalantly approaching. But its heading, as well as the way that other space debris around it is flowing, it's obvious that it sees you and that it's coming towards you. So
Okay.
you walk away from the ancillary station, a couple steps over to your console, hit the lever for the comm, and let Dax know.
Yep, Durka, Captain, we got problems, Captain, Durka.
Go ahead.
We have a ship approaching that's coming straight for us, Captain. I don't know what it is or who it is. They haven't hailed us, but they are definitely heading our way. Meepers.
And this happens immediately after you have taken a look at the relay, the power relay station, and ascertained that it is toast. And you are just getting ready. It's like you kind of like look at it, and you kind of like slam the top of it, and you sort of like look over the top of it. Some of the burnt components are there in front of you. Looking over the top of this piece of equipment, you see Jarl standing on the other side, sort of like, sort of a helpless look on his face of like, sorry.
Shit's
And that's-
broke, man.
And that's when Meepers goes ahead and contacts you. So it's just one thing after another after another. Hi, Joyce.
That's not Joyce. That's Amanda. I'm in her.
Well, they both laughed the same. That was my second choice. Was going to be Amanda.
Uh-huh.
It was.
Okay.
I'm going to motion to Jarl to follow me and go back inside the ship.
Okay. You guys float through the 0G, doing hand over hand on the ceiling and whatever equipment is nearby that is tacked down to the deck, and make your way over. You go through whatever protocols you have to exit. Getting back out in the hallway, standard gravity, comes back on, and you guys just gently float down to the floor.
All right, when we get in there, I take the helmet part of this suit off, and I say it's fried. And I start running up for the cockpit.
I'm assuming he says that to you, Jarl.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm assuming as well. Jarl's preoccupied trying to get out of his suit without having his two arms that are folded burst through.
Yeah, exactly.
So he kind of looks at him. He's like fiddling with the.
Yeah. As he's running
Alright.
away, you're kind of like running after him, like a guy that's got his arms inside a shirt. Hey,
Yep. Like somebody trying to run and put their pants on.
Yep,
It's
kind of
in reverse.
waddling down the hall after Dax.
Right, but in reverse, trying to take things off.
Yep, gotcha. I'm 100% with you. Dax, you immediately head on up to the cockpit, not paying attention to anything, but just getting there as quickly as you possibly can. You enter into the cockpit. You see that Ubben is sitting in the ancillary chair. You can tell immediately that that has had the sensor protocols transferred to it. And Meep is standing next to his chair, looking at the sensors as you come barreling in.
Did you get a reading on the ship?
Durka, Meepers, no, Captain.
Try to get a reading, see if it's a friendly.
Okay.
I want to check my station, my console, and I want to see if the guns are working.
Okay, you head on over there. You see that your control's been locked out. You immediately put in your code. Not all of your boards light up. There are still a number of boards that either do not check in or continue to flash red. Others yellow. There are more of the red and yellows and some that are completely unlit, as opposed to the number of greens. Go ahead and make a quick tech roll.
Just tech?
Just tech, just straight tech.
Ugh.
You take a look at it, and you are pretty sure that you don't know if the weapons are still functioning or not, but you cannot fire them or control them from the cockpit area. You've lost the ability to do that.
Okay.
Okay. What specifically are you trying to find out about this ship, Meeps?
I want to know if it's an Imperial or not, so that we know if we're immediately in danger or not.
Okay. More than likely, what you want to do is get its transponder signal, which will come back as either being Imperial or not.
Okay.
That would be more of a communication than a sensor reading. So go ahead and roll communication for me.
Is that perception?
No, that would be mechanical.
Roger.
All right. It does not come back as Imperial. What it comes back as is a long haul. Basically, it comes as the long haul is what the transponder signal comes out as. And it comes back as being what the hell? A cargo ship is what it comes back as.
Okay. Durka, Captain, it appears to be some sort of cargo ship. Durka.
Okay. In the meantime, Jarl, as you're sort of making your, retarded child run for the front, you pass the galley crew area, and you kind of stop and you see Rito in there, and Rito kind of like sees you, and
And I look at Rito, and I take my helmet off and throw it to the ground and go, "Don't just sit there, boy. We're in a tight spot. Tight spot."
What's going on?
Tight spot, and starts running up towards.
Yeah, and he's got the whole thing where it's like he's doing like the retard run where the shoulders are like flapping forward kind of thing.
All right, so I go after Jarl. I'd follow him wherever he goes.
Okay. You make it towards the cockpit. It's getting full in here very quick. It's feeling very cozy, like the cockpit out of A New Hope on the Millennium Falcon, where you've got 6 people jammed in a place that can only really hold 4.
I kind of
So
look over
everybody's
to
up there.
I look over to Meepers and I'm like, Meepers, what's going on?
We have no power. I don't think we have weapons, and we have an approaching cargo ship.
Lo,
Durka.
Durka.
Lo, is there a place on the ship that is shielded from sensors? Perhaps we could hide in there. Lo.
Dax, do you have something like that aboard this ship? Is that something
do
you
I?
reasonably have?
Do I?
I'm asking you. Is that something that you, as a player, I mean?
Well, this ship is a smuggling ship,
Okay.
designed specifically for smuggling. That's why I
Sell
took
me.
this one.
Dax,
So let's
Sell me.
smuggle ourselves, brother.
sell me,
Yes,
Dax.
yes, we have a shielded cargo space where we can hide stuff. Durka.
Lo, then we should smuggle ourselves then. Lo.
And I kind of look over. I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of beat up still. That sounds like a good idea.
Okay. It is a small smuggling compartment. Is that what you're thinking of, Dax? Are you thinking like 2 smuggling compartments? How much stuff do you think that you would have that you could reasonably hide in your hidey hole or hidey holes?
Well, it most likely would have been a spice runner, so I don't think that it would be a compartment that everybody can fit in.
Okay. 2 people? 1 person?
Um,
2 small people?
maybe 2 people.
Okay. Like standard size 2 people?
Yeah, like standard size 2 people. So
Okay,
let's
so like
having 2 big fat aliens ain't gonna help.
So say Ubin and Rito, or maybe Rito and Meepers.
Like Rito and Meepers.
All right. Give the commands, Captain.
All right, guys, this is what I want you to do. Go back to the crew area, the lounge area, and give us a minute, and I'll instruct what we should do further.
Anybody else understand that? I didn't get it.
I don't understand.
You
Jarl
can't
looks
hear
like,
me?
what?
Um,
What now?
Go back to the crew lounge area.
Everybody?
No, not Meepers. The three of them.
Okay. That's what we weren't understanding. I was like, who are you telling to go back there? All right. So he instructs Jaro, Rito, and Ubin to vacate.
Should we buckle up?
Okay.
Buckle in? What's going on?
There's a ship approaching, and I don't have compartments to hide everybody.
Okay.
All
Just go in the back, and we'll try to take care of this.
I'll just head there then.
All right.
Get out.
Ubin's heading out. What are you
Back.
doing, Rito?
As we're walking back, Charles going to go.
Alright. Okay, go for it.
I don't know why we need to hide people. But
I'm
all
saying that
right,
to you,
then.
Rito.
I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
Who, me?
Jaro was saying that he didn't understand the need to hide people, and he was speaking to you.
Oh.
Rito, speaking to Rito.
Oh, you were speaking to Rito? Oh. Sorry.
I think he was actually saying it in general, but I mean, so it would have been Ubin or Rito or both.
All right. Well, I guess I kind of just like go towards the back, and I kind of look for this hiding compartment.
Well, that's not what he told you to do, though.
Oh, well then I'll go strap in then.
He just said for you guys to head on back to the crew area.
Yeah, I'll go into the crew area and just sit down. That's all I'm gonna do because it's.
Dax, Meepers, what are you doing? That ship's
All right.
approaching.
Dax is going to try to raise them on the comm.
Okay, go ahead and roll your communications. See if it's functioning.
All right, what's that fall under?
Communications will be a mech skill.
That's it.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure you're gonna actually spend a point. All right. The communications crackles. It's obviously been damaged. It does not have the range that it should. You can tell that immediately from the gain and the static that are on it. And if you want to, you can hail that ship if you'd like.
Dax is frustrated and he slams his fist on the console and he tries anyway.
Okay, and as you do that, some two wires like connect, and a shower of sparks flies from the control board.
Dax is getting even more frustrated. They
Okay.
destroyed my ship.
All right, Dax, it's on you. What do you want to do? You and Meepers are in the. This is your scene, guys.
Okay.
There's not much we can do now.
I mean, no, your communications works. It just doesn't have the range that you would.
Well, I said I'm still going to try to hail him anyway.
Okay, so you are hailing them.
Yes.
Okay, I misunderstood that. I do apologize. We'll go ahead and I can retcon that. You're frustrated. I thought you smashed your hand into the console.
I was saying he's frustrated and he slams his fist down on the console, but he's still going to try to communicate.
Right, and
He's
all
trying to show his frustration.
right, and all that happened was a spark shot out. That was it. It was just purely narrative. Nothing bad happened. Nothing got worse.
Yeah, and I'm going to continue to try to hail them.
All right. So you hail them, and you have an open communication, inviting them to, to get back to you. And you are just like what? This is Captain Dax of the. What was your ship again?
Extinguished flame.
Extinguished Flame, which is seriously extinguished right now.
Thanks.
We're not bringing hope, nor are we bringing light to the rest of the galaxy with this ship. All right. So that's pretty much what you're doing on your console, correct?
Correct.
Okay. You hear a bit of crackling, and there's no response. You do this like 2 or 3 times, and you finally hear, and it sounds like it's someone talking through a tin can or from a long way away in a circular tube. You hear a person speaking in basic, extinguished flame, this is the long haul. What seems to be your situation?
Ship is heavily damaged and in need of repair.
Mm-hmm. What is the condition of your ship? Do you have shields, power? Do you have locomotion? Do you have weapons?
Power's out.
Very good then. Stand by. Have assistance rendered. We'll be pulling it up. Do you know if you are capable of a soft lock right now?
Am I?
Probably.
And I tell him correct. Yes.
Okay. 1 second while I go check on my cat so that she doesn't knock a $300 external hard drive 5 feet to the ground.
Yikes.
Please do move carefully, cat. Okay, cat is now moved. I can now move the drive because I don't need a 4 terabyte drive taking a shit on me.
Oh man.
Okay, unplug this, unplug this, move over here, place on its side, reach over and pet the kitty. Good kitty, good kitty. Get the fuck away from my drive. What are you guys laughing about?
I used to have cats that would leap up onto tables and try to walk behind everything.
Yeah, it gets very dicey when I've got I have something like Jesus man, like 7 or 8 terabytes of external drives that I have all daisy chained up. Yeah, I got a lot of shit. All right. So, Dax and Meeps, that's what you're told.
Meeps will head back to the airlock so that he can operate the controls from back there.
Okay. Excellent. All right, so Dax, you're going to stay at the ship?
I'm going to.
Stay in the cockpit, or what do you want to do? Meeps is heading back to help make sure that the seal and everything like that is proper.
All right. I go to the other guys and I tell them I want them to stay out to the side, but be ready for anything.
Got that, Captain. I'll just hide behind Jarl here, and he can take a couple of bolts for me.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I think you can probably get quarter cover if you hang out behind him. All right, so you guys are continuing to stay in the crew area, just sort of like trying to stay out of the way. Meeps, you head on back to the area where they're going to try and do a soft lock on the ship, and head on over. All right, so Dax, anything in particular you're going to be doing in the meantime?
I'm just going to be preparing for doing the soft lock.
Okay, so you're heading on over there to help Meeps.
Correct.
All right, then. All right, so nobody is handling communications with these guys then, okay? All right, so, yeah, after 10 or so minutes, you hear a bit of clanking noise on the outside of the ship, and some cycling, and you see there's some silence for a while, and then you see the atmosphere light on the outside of the, next to the door come up green, and you hear like someone banging on the metal door from the far side. Clank, 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 clank.
Who is it?
It's a big bad wolf. I'm gonna huff, and I'm gonna puff until I blow your house down.
Watchtower.
By the hair on my chinny chin chin.
Watchtower.
A puff, and I'll blow your house down.
Lighthouse Magazine.
Green Jello. Love that freaking song. That video is
Yep.
awesome.
Yeah, it was. Well, I can't believe somebody actually knows that.
Me. All right, guys. I tell you what. Why don't we go ahead and do a bio here real quick, and we'll come right back to it.
Okay, well, what's a bio?
Bio is
Bathroom
bathroom.
Take a bathroom
Bathroom break. Get something to drink.
stretch.
Adjust the boys. Whatever it is you have to do.
I think we're gonna drink really quick.
It usually means 5 minutes.
Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Hey. Just wondering if everyone was back yet.
I think it's just us chickens.
Can you guys hear me all right, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Uh, how am I doing so far?
Just fine.
Okay. This game is pretty fun. I wonder why George Lucas wanted to kill it so badly.
I don't know. Maybe because he saw it as a threat to LucasArts and like video gaming.
The threat.
He
If anything,
actually, he obviously had the license it to begin with.
yeah, you'd think this would be like a gold mine for all sorts of video games he could make, or maybe other films. Because from what I can tell, it doesn't really take liberties as far as the prequels go. You know? It just sort of leaves that as a gray area.
You mean the game itself?
Yeah, the game and the...
Yeah, well, I don't think the game. I think the game died before the prequels ever came out. As far as it just went out of print, the company that did it went belly up.
Yeah, but all that, and Lucas, he pulled the license and declared pretty much the entire expanded universe non-canon.
Well, we'll see.
I mean, I know West End Games kind of got really license heavy. But, so I'm just saying, this, from what I can tell, showed no signs of slowing down. Or, hell, I don't know.
Hey guys, I'm back.
Hey. Have, have you guys ever played the other Star Wars games?
I tried to get into Saga Edition D20, but just didn't work. I'm currently trying to jank up Savage Worlds to run Star Wars
Oh, that would be kind of cool.
because it's Savage Worlds does pulp, over the top pulp, really, really, really well, and that's exactly what Star Wars is. So
There's got to be a conversion guide for it somewhere out there on the net.
yeah, here's the problem with the conversion guides. They try to literally translate D6 or D20 to Savage Worlds.
Hmm.
They try to do a one-for-one translation, and that just doesn't work for Savage Worlds. Because with Savage Worlds, if you're going to convert something, you kind of got to go, okay, what mechanics are already in Savage Worlds that help me achieve this theme or this feel or what I'm going for? So, and plus the conversions that are out there, they have some little gems in them, but for the most part, they were all written and put out before Deluxe, so they're all at least about 10 years old.
Hmm.
Hey Jared, I was going to ask you a question. Do you think Savage Worlds, or at least the mechanics with Savage World? Well, let me start off. My girlfriend's sister, or excuse me, girlfriend's cousin, little cousin, is having a birthday, and she's really into. I got her really into the role-playing games,
Right.
and she's really into Harry Potter, and I can't find a Harry Potter RPG. Do you think Savage World rules and mechanics would work well with that?
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay.
But how old is she?
She's 15, 16. She's read all the
Yeah.
books, seen all the movies.
Yeah, I mean, all you got to do is basically, I would just take, you could take Deluxe and just skin it.
Okay.
So if you want to talk about that a little bit after we're done,
Yeah,
Do you have-
yeah.
do you have a copy of Savage Worlds Deluxe?
No, but I can find one. I know I can find one.
If you're trying to make something based off of a movie, Savage Worlds is usually your best bet.
Yeah.
It allows for that kind of cinematic feel.
Yep, absolutely. I would make a few changes. For example, like I would impose the heroes never die setting rule to make that fit. So if they take enough damage to incapacitate them, they're just unconscious, and nothing else happens.
Okay.
They don't run the risk of bleeding out or having to make a bigger roll to see if they bleed out or take an injury. So I mean, there's things you can do to dial it in to fit. So you just take a look at the powers section and figure out what powers they use in the movie.
Okay.
And then you just have them do the same exact. Just have the character do the same exact trappings when they're role playing it. So they can't really cast much of anything without their wands, or
I think in Hellfrost, there are magic users that have to use their staves.
Right.
Focus point. You could probably
Yeah, that's just a trapping. That's just what we call a trapping. It's a description, a certain way the power works. So, like for example, like D&D will tell you what a fireball looks like. Savage Worlds goes, here's the mechanics for a fireball. We call it bolt. That could be a swarm of bees coming out of somebody's mouth. It could be a fireball. It could be shooting ice crystals. Whatever. You decide what the trapping is.
Okay.
And here's the mechanic to roll it.
Can it be hounds or bees, or hounds with bees in their mouth, and when they bark, they shoot bees at you?
Sure. It could be freaking anything.
I haven't heard that line in a while.
One of the guys on our podcast plays Deadlands, and he says that one of his people has the bolt, and they use pebbles and an incantation to use it. So they just decide how many pebbles they want to throw, and they explode.
Deadlands look like so much fun. That and Space 1889.
All right, guys, I'm back.
Yay!
Yay! Everybody missed me.
Did you pause the live
Welcome back.
broadcast?
Can I? No.
Yes, you know you can.
No,
Yeah,
I
you
did
can.
not know that. You just say stop broadcast, or what do you do?
I'll have to take a look at it, but you can pause it.
I was not aware of that.
I'll figure that out while you continue.
There's a way to pause it. I don't
Okay.
remember how to do it because I'm not the one that films the podcast I'm in. But yeah. Or I guess you could just edit this break out.
Yeah,
All
he's
right.
Give the
not
means.
going to do that.
All right. So anyway, you hear a tink tink on the door. What do you guys do?
So where is the door in approximation to the galley that we're sitting in?
Towards the cargo area, which would be down a hallway, around a curve, and then into another room.
Okay.
All right, Dax looks over at me. Ready?
Absolutely.
Well, I'm
Meepers.
All right, open the door.
All right. You cycle the door open, or unlock it. The door cycles, spins, rotates, and moves to the side. There is a sentient in full vac suit behind. He has a black visor on it that you can't see through, and the vac suit seems to be very well worn.
I greet him.
Okay. And he doesn't let he speaks through his ship commo to you, which has an external speaker. Which one of you is the captain?
I am.
Okay. He steps forward. nice to meet you, and greets you.
So we got jumped by pirates, and as you can see, my ship is heavily damaged, and I'm kind of stuck.
Mhm.
I
He
don't have,
stops. He surveys. Pirates, huh? Yeah, they're pretty thick in this area.
It's never anything good.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Right?
All right. So, anyways,
Sense
Well-
motive.
what can we? Can your ship be repaired, or what seems to be the problem here? You seem to be dead in space. You said you lost power and didn't have shields, and you said you didn't have weapons, right?
Yeah, that's what I said. Sublight engine's pretty damaged. I don't suppose you'd have the parts to help me repair it.
I'm not 100% sure. I'll tell you what, I can have some of my people come over and assist you and help you take a look at it. And all right, well, I'll tell you what. Why don't I just go ahead and do that? And he like turns back around. There's another person standing in the doorway. He just like makes a hand signal to him, and the guy turns around and leaves. All right, well, I'll tell you what. Why don't you show me your ship?
We'll wait for you guys to come first. It's only in the other room, but it's open space. The hull's been damaged.
Ah, I understand. Do you have vac suits?
Well, I'm still wearing mine out of character.
Oh,
I
okay.
just had the helmet off.
Excellent. Well, I see you got one. If you want, we can go in there and take a look at it.
All right. I motioned to Meep, like, watch it, and I put the helmet on and take him to the back.
All right. All right, and he just keeps going back behind you. Thump, thump, thump. And as he's making his way through behind you, you're leading the way. He's like, "Yeah, it's kind of a nice ship. What is this? It's a 2440, 2441. What ship is this?"
24. I ship cargo here and there.
I understand. We all carry the cargo we can, right?
Yep.
All right. So you make your way on over there. You're standing in front of the lock, getting ready to cycle so that you guys can go in and stuff like that. You hear a comm link go off. The guy behind you starts speaking sort of like in German. Think Die Hard. And Meeps, about that time, you hear some people coming in. Obviously, the people to come help you guys with repairs on your ship.
Okay,
So-
I assume they're carrying toolboxes and stuff?
Well, I mean, you got one person's kind of standing in the way right now, waiting for the other guys to show up.
Okay.
So, all right, what are the rest of you guys doing? Ubin, Rito, Jarl?
Jarl stands up, dusts himself off. Hey, fellers, I can lend a hand.
Okay. There's actually nobody. There's nobody in the area with you. You'd have to make your way towards the back of the ship.
Oh, actually, you know what? Then he'll go down, take a look at the. I'm assuming there's a dock and a tube connecting us.
Yeah, it's towards the back and it's running off of the cargo area.
He'll sort of wander back there, coyly.
Okay. You're being coy. Why don't you roll coy for me?
Checking something else.
Yeah. Why don't you roll coy for me?
That'd be what, Dex?
Stealth. Be perception. You're being stealthy.
For
You
a big guy.
fat. Yeah, you big fat fuck. You happy with that roll? Would you like to spend a character point or just go with it?
I'm happy with that roll.
All right. You feel as though you're being sneak. All right. So about that time, Meeps, you're waiting for him. The first guy, you see him he turns around and starts walking in, and he sticks out his hand towards you, and shake hands. Hey, tell you what, man, you guys are real lucky. What do you do?
Shake his hand because that's the human custom, right?
It is indeed the human custom in most of galactic space. All right.
I shake his hand. Well, thank you for coming along and offering your assistance, Meepers.
Okay. I need you to make an initiative roll.
Uh-oh.
All right, and I need to roll. Okay. And he's going to get a bonus. So Meep, as you go to grab his hand, he immediately grabs your other shoulder, immediately pushes you over towards the wall bulkhead. And at that time, there are 2, if not 3 more people that have now quickly exited through the umbilical. They all have vac suits on. They all have black masks on that you can't see through the visor, and they all are carrying at least carbines.
Well,
Does
shit.
Jarl see that?
No, you do not see that yet.
Okay.
All right, going back to Dax. Dax, you hear this talk on a comm link. You don't recognize the language. It is vaguely sounds of German or Dutch, and you hear the gentleman behind you. Sorry about this, Captain. I need you to raise your hands. We don't want to make this unpleasant.
He's behind me?
Mm-hmm.
I turn around.
Turn around, and he's got a very nasty-looking blaster pistol pointed at you.
We're in the 0G area?
Not yet. You are
Oh.
outside of that area.
Damn it.
Yep. I might have actually let him actually wait if you hadn't told him that it was, a 0G area. That sort of gave him the hint that he should probably get the drop on you before you go in there.
Okay, so we're in the area just outside it.
Right, you're pretty much in a hallway.
Okay, shit.
And he's got the drop on you. I'm just letting you know. I mean, I'm not trying to talk you out of doing whatever it is you want to do, thinking outside the box, coming up with whatever narrative. I'm just letting you know the mechanics of it. All right, Meepers, what are you going to do?
So I obviously know that we're being hostilely boarded, correct?
Absolutely know this without a shadow of a doubt.
Okay, so, Is this guy got a weapon on me, or is it just this guy's hands on me?
Right now, he's just got you pressed up against the wall, the bulkhead.
Okay, well, then I yell out, we're under attack! I yell it really, really loud that we're in basic, we're under attack! Really,
So,
really loud.
Meeper, we're under attack. Meeper.
Meeper, durka, durka, oh shit! And then,
They're brainwashed. They're only controlled by the Empire.
and then,
Charlie would get that one.
not that it's gonna do me any good, I'm gonna punch the guy.
Okay, you can attempt to do so. So that'll be your one action. You will go ahead and go first. So go ahead and roll your brawling. If you don't have brawling, it goes to strength. Oh, I take that back. It goes to dex. I changed that. So, happy with that roll?
Not really, but it's what it is.
Okay. And he will... No, that is wrong, you bastard.
Oh, he rolled a 2.
You called me a bastard?
Okay. You try and break free and punch him. You sort of like try and like pull your hand out and stuff like that, and he just kind of grabs it and slams it back up into the bulkhead.
Ow.
I mean, that's basically what he does. So the other 3 guys are like heading off back towards the end of the ship. Dax, it's you and this guy. Come
All
on,
right.
Captain.
How close am I to the door?
A couple of meters, maybe.
So I'm not within arm's reach.
You can make it. You can make it in one round if you wanted to.
I'm gonna start like I'm raising my hands and go to knock the blaster out of his hand.
Okay. You'll have to close the distance on that and do it. But okay.
Oh, so he's not near me either. Nothing's in.
I mean, he's okay. No, he's not at point blank range. I mean, he's within close range, obviously.
I have no choice. I'll go to him and try to.
That's fine. I get it. I understand. So go ahead and make a initiative roll for me then, Dax. Okay, and all right, you're gonna go first. So you close the distance and you try and basically smack the weapon out of his hand.
Yes.
All right then. Go ahead and make a brawling roll. And let's see. He's going to get that bonus because you're trying to hit something
dear.
small. Never mind. Okay. You happy with that roll, or are you gonna stick with that roll?
Not even going to bother.
Okay. You step forward and you make sort of a lazy grab for it. There's a piece of conduit on the floor that is snaked out of the wall. That from the ship being damaged. You sort of like go forward and it looks perfect. I mean, you've got the drop on him and everything like that. You're getting ready to grab it and your ankle sort of twists and you miss the weapon and he's surprised. I mean, from his body language, he's surprised and he takes like 2 steps back and drops the blaster on you. Hey! Don't make this more difficult than it has to be. All right. At this point, Jarl, you're making your way back through a hallway, and you hear in Sullustan, Meepers calling. What was it you said exactly, Meeps?
We're under attack, Meepers.
Yep, we're under attack. And about that time, you see these 3 guys come barreling through the doorway in the hallway immediately in front of you. They're probably about 8 meters away. What do you do? 3 of them.
I see them carrying weapons.
Yes, they have carbines at least, wearing vac suits with black visors.
I'm gonna can I close the door?
Sure. Make it
Seal off the umbilical.
No, you may not. You cannot do that. That's in the other room. You're in the hallway that leads to the door that goes to the cargo room that has the umbilical in it. These guys have already charged across the umbilical, pushed Meep out of the way, and have entered the cargo area, exited the cargo area, and we're getting ready to start heading down the hallway, and that is the hallway that you were in.
Okay, so are they coming towards me in the hallway?
Yes, they are. They are coming towards you. They've in fact, I tell you what, this is going to be more of a circular kind of thing. So these 3 guys come barreling out here. One of them will immediately come charging your direction. Another one starts charging in the opposite direction on the hallway. Just think of it like a circular track around the outside of the ship perimeter, if that makes sense to you. And then one of them is just sort of like hanging back in the middle of the hallway, deciding which way he's going to go.
All right, then Jarl is going to punch the first person that comes close to him.
All right, go ahead and make an initiative roll for me. All right, so actually, did you guys see that roll I just made or not?
Yes, we did.
Yes.
Okay, well, so you guys are going to go at the same time. So, Jarl, you're going to go before he does. You see him heading towards you, and you're going to have to close the distance. That will be a free. It's going to count as a move action, but it's not going to count towards your map. So you're going to attempt to punch him then, correct?
Right, full-on brawl.
All right, so you're going to come charging forward and just kind of put 2 hands together and just swing them at him, right?
Sure.
All right, go ahead and make a brawling roll for me. Oh yeah, you hit, and you will get a bonus on this as well. Go ahead and roll for damage and narrate out what you... Well, before you roll your damage, why don't you go ahead and narrate out to me what you think unique and spectacular about this attack was.
He gets incredibly lucky because he's just reacting. It's more of a reaction than a planned attack.
Mm-hmm.
And he comes down with his 2 top hands together on the guy's neck, and at the same time just sort of sucker punches him in the gut, almost elbows him in the gut, and he's turning at just the right angle and knocks him off his feet.
Okay, excellent. Let's see what happens with the damage. Regardless of whether you actually damage him, he's going to end up on the ground.
Cool.
All right. So that's my ruling as the GM. So go ahead and roll your damage, which is, I believe, just strength, is it not?
Yep.
All right. So go ahead and
Any
roll that.
bonus damage?
Do you get a bonus for using all your hands?
Nope.
I thought you got like some kind of
Only
Yeah.
for brawling.
oh yeah, for brawling, which is what you're doing right now, right?
Right, which is what I just did, but we're doing
Planning
damage.
Oh, it's for damage. You know what?
Because of the 31 is why I'm asking.
Well, that's why he's automatically going to end up on the floor.
Okay, works for me.
From that. So yeah, just go, just roll your regular damage, please. Still not bad. All right.
Let's spend a character point
All right.
and another character point. There we go.
All right. So that's 1725. Let's see. 25. 18. So you go over there and swing. You hit him in the neck, and he kind of like doubles over, and you smack him again in the back of the head. You hear a sickening cracking noise, and he just goes limp and falls to the ground. Boom.
Holy crap.
Well, when on 3 dice I roll 7,
Right.
so. All right. So you outright kill that guy, and that will be your action. The other guy at the end of the hallway sees this, and immediately will shoot at you, Jarl. Are you going to attempt to dodge this?
No.
No? Okay. I was going to say because it would be considered second action, so it'd just be minus 1d. But, all right. He is going to attempt to shoot at you. You realize this is, of course, short range, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't see him coming. I'm doing that as a character thing. I don't
Okay,
see him coming.
You know what? In fact, give yourself a character point for that. You played something, you role-played something out and didn't meta-mechanic it, so I'm going to reward you for that. So, you know what? In fact, give yourself 2 character points for that. That is how much I appreciate you selecting narrative over meta-mechanics. All right, so this guy's going to shoot at you. He hits. Go ahead and roll your strength. All right, and I do believe anything of a wound or higher, you're knocked unconscious. All right, Jarl, you are knocked unconscious. Just poof, bow, down you go. All right, Meeps, you hear this? You hear gunfire in the hallway. You look over the person's shoulder that's holding you up against the wall. And you see the guy standing in the doorway immediately turn right, draw his carbine up to his shoulder, and fire like 3 times. And you hear a large body fall to the ground.
Okay, so I assume one of my crew members has been shot.
It's probably a safe bet.
Okay. Has this guy got me off the ground since I'm so much shorter than him, probably?
I don't really see him doing that, but I mean, it's possible. I mean, if that's how
So
you want.
he just basically pinned me to the wall, basically.
Yeah, just trying to keep you from going anywhere.
Okay, and is the guy who just shot kind of like in the doorway right behind him, basically?
No. The way that I envision it was, that is incorrect. All right, is if this is the hold. All right, this would be the door. I'm figuring the soft lock is over here. I see you as being like maybe over here. And don't anybody freak out because this is not exactly what's there. But and I see him like pushing you up against the wall right here. And I see this guy sort of like here in the hallway. With another one having run that way, another one having run that way, and Jarl would be something like that. And so we've got Ahmed and Dax over here doing their thing. Got him over here with another guy with him.
Okay.
That's how I envision it.
Okay. Well, I know you hate using maps, but I'm glad you drew that because I needed the visual because that's not how I was seeing it at all.
No, not a problem at all. Sometimes I like to just throw up like real basic maps. These are not to scale, but they just give you sort of an idea.
Well, I just kind of needed to know where I kind of was on the ship, or if I was.
Mm-hmm.
I was picturing us being in a hallway, me pinned against the wall directly across from the door, and someone standing in the door right behind the guy is what I was picturing.
Right,
So-
I get it.
So
sorry.
I'm glad you drew it out. So now at least I have an
Yeah,
idea of
and then
what I
the
can.
umbilical would look something like this.
Okay, so the umbilical's behind me. Got it.
Well, the door is immediately to. If your back is up against the wall, the door would be immediately to your right, and the umbilical behind that.
Yeah. So the door to my right is the one that connects to the other ship.
That is correct.
Okay. All right. I would like to raise my feet up off the ground and use them to push myself off the wall into him, kind of like trying to knock him over.
Dude, you have any idea how hard that would be? We can try it. I want you to know it's going to be difficult.
Well, I don't have any skills. All I have is the basics, just the
Okay.
basic stats. So I
I-
mean, anything I try and do is hard or impossible.
Well, we will see what happens. You saw what Jared rolled earlier. I mean, a guy that actually had some body armor on him, he killed in like one punch. Well, actually 4 punches, but it was pretty fucking spectacular. All right, so
Well, okay. Does the guy doesn't have a weapon on me, does he?
not yet.
Does he have a weapon on him? On him?
If you want to take time to look and see what he's got, you could. I'm gonna count it as an action though.
Okay, I'll take it as an action to see if he has a weapon on him.
Okay, go ahead and make a search roll. If you don't have it, it defaults to perception. And if you'd like, at a later time, Pat, if Meeps is not doing it for you, you and I can get together and pound out a character concept. So don't feel like you're married to Meep.
Okay, since this is a perception check involving a search, do I get my racial ability of 2 die, of plus 2 die?
And your 2 die goes for what specifically?
It just says in my special abilities, whenever you make a perception check or search checks involving vision in low light conditions,
In
or
low
hearing.
light conditions. Okay.
Involving vision in low light conditions or hearing.
Okay. So I would say
not
I would
really
say
low
no.
light.
Nope, not low light, and you're using visual, not hearing. So,
Got it.
but thank you for sharing that. I didn't know that. I knew that he had a bonus. I just didn't know what it went to. Yep. In the meantime, Rito and Ubin, go ahead. You do hear the blaster fire. You don't have to roll for that. I will be coming to you guys and asking you what you want to do, so you might want to be thinking about that. All right, so Meepers, that is your brawling roll? Oh, no, that's your search roll.
That was my search roll. See if this guy had a weapon on him.
Okay. He does have a blaster pistol in a holster. It does have a strap on it, and he does have a knife in a vest, whatever you want to call it, a vest sheath. So we're gonna, like over his left heart or over his heart or whatever.
Okay, well, I'm gonna try and draw the knife.
Okay, you can do that next turn then. And then he's gonna have a turn this round. All right, back to you, Dax. He's got the drop on you, and he's like, "No, don't make it more difficult than it's got to be."
The wire I tripped over, is it live?
I tell you what, even it's live and odd, it's not. It's not live. Like most of your ship, it's not live.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, I mean he's holding his action, waiting to see what you're gonna do.
Well, I got to get up because I'm on the floor. So.
Right.
Um.
He is watching you very closely. All right. I mean, you can definitely tell from his body and stuff like that. He's no longer playing with you.
All right. I'm gonna get up. And I get up and I putting my hands up, and I'm gonna start backing up away from him towards the door.
Okay. As you start doing that, he's like, "Stop right there. Don't move." And he reaches behind him. It's almost like he's got a satchel behind his back. You see him reach and he grabs something, and he tosses them to you.
What is it?
You try and catch him. Whatever he's throwing to you, you're gonna try and catch.
No, I move out of the way. I don't know what it is.
Okay. You move out of the way, and you see a pair of shackles land on the ground next to you. Put them on.
I'm gonna go to bend over to pick it up, and I'm gonna charge him.
All
I'm gonna
right.
try to tackle him.
I need you to make a dex roll for me.
Come on, Dax. Come on.
Okay.
That's it.
16. Okay. And I need to make a decision on that. Even. It's even. Son of a bitch. All right. Dax, you look up, and apparently there must be, I mean, you must telegraph it or something like that through your sneer on your face. It's been a shitty day. Your ship has been blown up. Just nothing is going right. And you attempt to charge him, and you see him just kind of like draw up the weapon straight up in front of him and fire. So you were not able to interrupt his action or his held action. At this point, you may attempt to dodge at a -1d, or hope that he misses.
I hope he misses.
All right then. Okay, I need you to roll strength. Roll really, really well. Do you want to roll any extra character points into that? Or are you able to? Do you want to? That is a huge, just so you know, that is a huge deficit to make up for.
All right. Well, that's it. I'm out of character points.
Okay. That is a total of 8, 12 is 21. All right. So that was for damage, correct?
Well, absorbing it, yeah.
Okay. You are not wounded, but you are stunned. You will be at -1d on top of the 1d for your next action. Go ahead and make your brawling roll. You'll be at -2d for this. I cannot believe you just soaked that. Holy shit. Okay. You sort of like grab onto his leg. He like puts a hand behind your back or behind your head and just kind of pushes down in sort of like a wrestler move, and like kicks his leg out from your arms that you grabbed. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say I didn't know if I had to put more.
No, I understand completely.
Okay. Ubben and Rito, what are you doing? You're in the galley area. You heard, you didn't hear Meep yell, but you did hear blaster fire, and you hear more blaster fire.
Okay. Well, I'm assuming I heard the first blaster bolt, and
Yep.
I'm going to run. I'm going to head towards that direction with my blaster pistol drawn. I want to try to be as sneaky as possible, so maybe I can get the drop on somebody.
Okay. Do you want to like set up?
Set up an ambush or something.
Okay. Well, that'd be different. If you're looking to set up an ambush, then you need to figure out a place that you think would be best and sort of hole up, and then wait for them to come to you. Moving stealthily and trying to close the distance is a completely different thing.
Gotcha. Understood. Okay, I want to try to see if I can just set up an ambush, maybe catch one of these guys off guard, or at least catch whoever's coming in off guard.
Okay. All right. What we can do then is there are two entrances into the galley area, one to the left, one to the right. The one immediately to your right, the one that actually exits and goes up to the cockpit, that hallway actually comes back and around. The ship exit is in the left wall as you're coming back and around. Then that continues on and goes to the goes up and curves around, and then that'd be the entrance to engineering. And then there's another hall that sort of curves around in a circle, and you believe that that's where the blaster fire came from, because that's where the engineering section, the cargo section is. So if you wait here and sort of give yourself a little bit of cover, more than likely, if somebody comes up unawares around that corner, you might be able to get the drop on them.
Okay, that's exactly what I want to do.
Okay, and what I need you to do then is make a single sneak roll, and this is going to be a contested roll versus his perception or search if he has it.
This
So
wouldn't be ambush, or would that be? Because under Rito's character sheet, well, it says search ambush. Never mind.
right. That's not for him to set up an ambush. That's for
Right.
him to discover if he's being ambushed.
Gotcha.
So in your case, what you're going to need to do is roll your sneak, and that is going to be your, in quotation marks, your ambush.
Gotcha. And that would be perception.
Correct. If you don't have the skill, it actually goes to perception.
Gotcha. All right. Here's mud in your eye. Let's see what happens.
Okay. Happy that roll?
I'm gonna spend 1 character point.
Well, you can spend up to 2. You don't have to tell me how many, just that you're spending 1.
Gotcha. Keep on forgetting that.
That's okay. So you've got a 12. Happy with that? Okay. So now you have a 15. All right. Make sure you mark out the 2 character points on your sheet.
Roger, roger.
All right. So at this point, going back to Meeps. Meeps, you're going to try to grab the... Okay, first of all, you're going to have to break his grapple. So you're going to be doing 2 actions. You're going to break his grapple, and if successful with that, then you are going to attempt to grab that knife out of its sheath on his chest. Okay? So I need you to roll your first action, which is going to be brawling at minus 1d. Okay, and that'll be opposed by his strength roll. You do not break your hold. Okay, that'll be the end of your turn, and he kind of sees you trying to grab at that, and he's just like, you see him, just the faceplate just kind of shakes at you like, no. Listen, son, don't make it harder on yourself than it already is. All right, so Meeps doesn't say anything. He just continues to glower at the guy. All right, going back to Dax. He's got you in a pretty bad situation. He's got a blaster on you. He is pretty much at point blank.
Yeah, I'm kind of fucked.
He's telling you, look, man, I don't want to have to do this, but I will. Put the damn cuffs on.
I get up like I'm beat.
Nope. He's not going to let you get up.
Well, I gotta go get the cuffs, right?
No, he will keep his hand on the back of your neck and just keep you in that position, forcing you to crawl to go get the cuffs. He is not going to allow you to get up. Not a second time.
All right. So as I spin around to go into the direction of the cuffs,
Okay.
I'm gonna kick his legs out from under him.
All right. Go ahead and make a brawling roll for me.
What am I rolling?
You're going to be rolling brawling.
What am I minus at?
I will tell you. I am not going to tell you.
I'll just roll normal.
Yep, just roll normal, and we'll see what happens. Okay. Can you spend any care points?
No, I'm out.
Okay. You actually surprise him a little bit. You are able to sort of break away from his hand. You try and kick his legs out. You're not successful at that. You sort of try and scramble away, trying to almost get to your feet. And you get to your feet and sort of spin around as though you're going to try and attack him again, and he's going to shoot at you. So, do you want to make a dodge?
Trying to think if I would be able to. If I'm spinning around.
It's really kind of up to you, man. It's a narration thing.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't as I'm gathering my sense and turning around. No, I don't think I would be able to dodge.
Okay. So he's just going to make a flat skill roll, and as long as he doesn't roll a 1, okay. So go ahead and roll your strength for me, sir. And on the plus side, he is not shooting multiple shots at you. You figured that out at least. All right. That is a wound, and you are knocked unconscious, sir.
Okay.
And basically what happens is as you're spinning around, coming around, you're sort of off balance as you spin around to face him. You're sort of like almost leaning back at the hips trying to maintain your balance, and just pretty much at point blank, he just shoots you right in the chest. Pow! And you just fly backwards and land on the ground in a hump in a pile. All right, back to Rito. This you see a guy start coming up around the corner. He does not appear to see you, so sir, you're going to actually get the drop on him. He is not going to be able to dodge, so just go ahead and roll your blaster skill.
Okay.
And I'm not going to give him any cover because he just walked right out there.
All right. Blaster skill. There you are.
Yeah. Just don't roll a 1, sir.
Right.
1s are bad for you. 1s are bad for everybody. All right. You do hit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Okay.
Oops. He doesn't have that much strength. Back up. All right. You hit him. You actually put a hole in his vac suit. Sort of makes a flaring sort of color as it shoots into his vac suit. You hear him go, "Ah!" And he sort of like falls back into a bulkhead and falls to the ground.
Okay. I want to search him to see if he has any ID on him. See if I can know who these guys are.
Okay, you can attempt to do that. Ubin, what are you doing? Did we lose him?
Well, he. Do I see Rito shooting this person in the back suit?
Nope, but you see Rito lined up on the far wall as though he's wait for somebody, and then fire his weapon.
I guess.
What are you rolling, Rito?
Oh, I thought maybe I had to roll a perception check to see if I can search him.
No, give me a minute.
Yeah,
Ubin?
that's fine.
I guess I'll ready my blaster and hold off until I see him.
Okay. At best, you would be armed with a blaster pistol. You will not have that blaster rifle.
Okay.
And that is just a 4D weapon. Just tell me what you're going to do, and I will take care of all the rest. I'll worry about the mechanics. You worry about being a good role player. All right, so you are basically covering Rito, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Rito, you go ahead and start heading down the hallway, and you kind of like take a quick look around you, assessing your situation first. You see Jarl down the immediately right hallway, laying on the ground. A blaster mark right in the middle of his chest. Another person in a vac suit laying on the ground in a crumpled spot, and the person in front of you laying on the ground.
Okay. All right. I searched the guy's pockets or vests, see if I can find anything on him.
Okay, this is going to take at least a full round. At the end of that, we'll go ahead and roll that for you.
Okay.
Heading on back to Ubin. Ubin, you're heading towards where Rito's at, correct? Or I'm sorry, covering him from the doorway inside the galley, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, because you're a hero, I'm going to allow this. So go ahead and make... No, I'm not seeing it. I'm not... No. All right. I need you to make a strength roll for me, Ubin.
Okay, let me just double check his. Let's double check this. Okay. Let's see.
Okay, you happy with that roll?
I guess so.
I mean, either that or you can spend a character point. It's really kind of up to you. I mean, if you like that number, you can stay with it. Otherwise, spend a character point, roll another die.
I'll stick with that number.
Okay. Difference of 10. Everything goes to black. You don't even see it. You don't even hear it. Just everything goes to black. Rito, behind you, you hear blaster fire, and Ubin, just sort of like crumples and falls to the floor in the hallway behind you. What do you do, sir?
Okay, when I hear the blast, I stop what I'm doing. And I immediately try to find another spot to hide in. See if I can get the drop on somebody else.
It's a hallway, and you're at a juncture.
I'm at a juncture. Okay.
You can
So then-
you can maybe take cover, but actually set up an ambush, not so much.
Then you know what? Just for the sake of the story, I'm gonna head towards back where Ubben was, and I'm gonna go check on him.
Okay. Very good then. I will allow a perception check for this. So go ahead and roll perception.
Okay. There we go. That's it. Oops. Stop.
Just, did you roll the perception check for me, or?
Nope. I asked Rito to make the perception check. You're knocked unconscious. You get to see nothing.
I'm okay with that roll.
Okay. You see he's laying on the ground, a smoldering blaster bolt in his back.
That's really not good.
I look towards he was in the cockpit, correct?
No, he was in the galley area with you.
Okay,
the one that has
so-
a second entrance on the far side.
Oh, that's right. So I look in that area. Do I see? Well, no. I check him. I go to check his vitals.
Okay, he's pretty much right in the middle of the hallway, right in that doorway.
Okay, so I go there anyway.
Okay, so let me make sure that I'm explaining this correctly so that you understand what you're walking into. Somebody shot him in the back,
Okay.
probably from the opposite side of the galley area. He fell forward into the hallway. Okay? He is not in cover in any way, shape, or form. If you close the distance with him and try to render aid or ascertain how badly he is hurt, you're going to be in an open door area with no cover.
Okay. Is there like you said it's an open doorway, right?
Correct. All right. If the round circle was the galley area, okay, it'd be an open door here. It's not even a door. It's just whatever the hell you want to call that.
Just an archway or whatever.
An archway. You have an archway here, and you have an archway there.
Can I hug the wall just a little bit so I can peer inside? Or is there any way that I can just slice the pie just a little bit so where I can just see inside down the way without being seen?
You can attempt to do so. Go ahead and make a sneak roll if that's what you want to try and do.
Yeah, let me try that.
So now, let me ask you, how many actions do you want to declare for this turn?
I am just going to do that and a dodge.
You do not have to declare your
Yeah, I
dodge.
don't have to declare a dodge.
Well, you're declaring one action, and then you're going to try and sneak up there and peek around the corner, correct?
That is correct.
All right, go ahead and make a sneak roll for me. And he is going to be on the lookout for somebody doing exactly what you're doing. That is a super fantastic roll. I don't think it's going to matter what he rolls. Okay, you are sneaky. You sort of get up to the edge, and you're sort of like looking down at the body of Dat in the middle of the hallway. You kind of take a couple of real quick breaths and put your head up against the hallway metal and slowly peek around the corner. And you see one of those guys in armor with the black, wearing the vac suits and the black face mask or cover, and he has a carbine, and he's at the far end, and he is walking into this room, and he looks to be searching.
Okay. So he's, he would be like right there, and he's walking towards Oven, right?
He is walking towards that exit, correct. I'm going to come back to you. Beeps, what are you doing?
You know what? I watched that Solstice and rape video at one point in time, and I saw the rape techniques to fight off an attacker, and I'm going to pinch the guy between the softness of his forefinger and his thumb.
You know what? If he was human or humanoid, that might work, but he's not.
Well, you know what? I don't know he's not humanoid, so because I can't see behind his face mask, and he looks humanoid because he's wearing a humanoid shape. So, I guess I'm going to do it anyway.
Okay, what are you doing, really? Seriously, no bullshit.
I try and punch the guy again.
Okay. So you're going to try and break free again? All right. So at this point, it's only going to be one action to break free, so go ahead and roll straight strength, sir.
Come on, Meepers.
I'm pulling for you, man. I really am. That is a good roll. You happy with that?
Not really.
You got any character points? Want to spend?
There, I'm happy with that.
Okay, so a 22 is a super fantastic roll, and he's going to roll his strength versus you. Guess what happens, Meep? You break free.
Yeehaw!
Yay!
All right, but that is the only action you get this round. So,
Okay.
he is going to attempt to grab. Well, actually, you know what? Piss on that. He's going to back up from you and attempt to draw his weapon. That's his action for this round. So let's go to the top of the action. Meep, how many actions you want to declare?
Is drawing my weapon an action?
Do you actually have a weapon on you?
I don't know. Would you carry your blaster around ship? Probably.
I did tell you guys to be ready for anything.
Well, probably in a holster anyway.
Right. So yeah, you can attempt to draw your weapon and use it. It is it would be -1d.
Okay, I draw my blaster and try and shoot this guy.
All right. So you're declaring a single action then, correct?
Yes, drawing my blaster and shooting the guy.
All right. Go ahead and make your blaster roll at -1d. Okay. Let's see. What the hell? No, that's not the. Oh, okay. I see what happened. Okay, he is going to attempt to dodge. Let's give him that much. All right, you hit Meeps. Go ahead and roll your damage. Roll. He dies.
Wow.
I rolled 2 1s for his strength. I'm not even going to go for the 16. He just dies. All right, you just narrate it out for me, Meeps.
Good job, Meepers. Woo!
As I drop to the floor, breaking his hold, I slap my blaster pistol out of my holster and bring it up to a one knee, two-handed grip position and squeeze up a shot, and I hit him right below his visor, right in the throat area, and pops his head off like a ripe cherry.
Okay, that's not murder hobo-ish at all. Okay.
Well,
How
you
about
say pretty
this?
much- you say pretty much instantly dies.
Yeah. Okay. How about we say this? How about you shoot him in the throat? Blood starts to pour down the front of his vac suit. He immediately drops his weapon immediately stops grabbing his weapon, puts both hands to his throat, kind of like lurches forward towards you, stumble, one hand forward now, blood all over his glove. As he's reaching for you, he grabs your shoulder, and pulls real close to you, his face mask almost touching you, and then he slowly falls over to the side dead.
Does he say Rosebud? He has to say Rosebud.
Nope.
Damn.
So,
Okay.
And then his head rolls off like a ripe cherry.
Just didn't like my narrative, huh? Okay.
Well, I just thought you could do better.
Oh, maybe you're wrong. Okay.
Anyway.
I got all right. So yeah.
All right, so back to Rito.
All right. So the guy's coming in my direction. All right. So, and you said he's searching, right?
He is definitely actively looking around.
Okay. So then I'm not gonna have a. Well, you know what? I'm gonna try to see and set up another ambush.
Okay,
From where
ambushes
I'm at.
take time, buddy.
It does, doesn't it? Can I do it as like a quick? Like, can I pick up the pace just a little bit? I mean, I'm gonna just try to do just narratively. I'm just gonna try to like set myself up quickly.
Okay, how are you camouflaging yourself? Sell me on the idea. Sell
Okay.
me.
Well, if he's coming towards the archway and it leads into a hallway that's leading out, I'm gonna see if I can just like hug the wall just a little bit, and then just try to get the drop on him as soon as he comes walking past the archway. Not with a shot, but like physically like tangle with him.
All right, so what you're hoping is that he walks out here, that you make a good enough sneak roll to basically be up against the wall, holding your breath in such a way that hopefully he has a 50-50 chance of turning either right or left, and you're hoping he's turning left, right?
Yes.
Okay. We will go ahead and do that. I will roll a die. Even he'll go one way, odd he'll go the other. If he goes with his back to you, you can go ahead and surprise attack him. Otherwise, it's going to be foiled.
Gotcha.
All right.
I'm okay with that.
All right. So he's making his way out there. Go ahead and make a sneak roll for me.
Okay.
And this will be opposed by his search because he's actively searching.
Right.
Okay. He walks out in the hall. Even or odd. He turns left.
Okay. So he does. So he sees me.
No, he turns left.
Oh,
You're
he
on
turns
the
left. I'm on the right-hand side. All right. So I immediately go for the butt of my pistol up against the back of his head and trying to knock him out.
You realize he's wearing a helmet.
Oh. Okay.
He has a vac suit on with a black visored helmet.
Okay. I'm just gonna have to go with the blast for the back of the head then, I guess.
You smack him like with a club, or you're just going to shoot him?
I'm gonna shoot him in the back of the head.
Okay. Go ahead and roll it.
Okay. And that's my blaster skill, correct?
It is indeed.
Yes, sir. Okay. Just wanted to make sure it wasn't anything else.
Called shot. That much.
6.
So... Wow. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Okay.
Okay. You cap him in the back of the head. His legs give out. And he falls forward. A little bit of smoke comes out of the back of the hole in the back of the helmet.
Okay. So I'm assuming that we don't really know how many guys there are. I'm gonna go under that assumption, right?
That is correct.
Okay. Do I see Jarl from where I'm at?
No, you would have to go back down the hall to the junction and take a look.
Okay. Since Rito feels like the coast is clear, he's gonna check on Ubben, see if he's stable, and
Okay,
then
that's going to be your action then.
yes.
Okay. Back to you, Meepers. What are you doing?
Is the passageway from our ship to their ship, is that vacuum or is that pressure?
No, that's an actual metallic umbilical.
So it's got atmosphere then, basically.
Yes, it does.
Okay, I snatch up this guy's blaster pistol that he had.
Okay, so now you have 2.
Yep, and I'm gonna go running down the umbilical cord towards their ship.
Okay. Good enough. You're in the umbilical, heading for their ship. Rito, go ahead and make a first aid roll to ascertain what is up with Ubben.
And that would be a tech skill, right?
That would be a tech skill, yes.
Okay.
Okay, he is just knocked unconscious.
Okay. So then I just go ahead and
Leave him?
I'm going to leave Ubben where he is, and I'm going to go searching for Jarl.
All right. You start heading that direction. All right, Dax. This guy has got the... yeah, you've been knocked unconscious. Son of a bitch. All right. He talks on his communication, blah, blah. Excellent. All right. Back to Rito. Rito, you make it around the corner. You see Jarl's body laying on the ground, blaster mark right square in the middle of his chest. Go ahead and make another first aid roll to ascertain what's up with him.
Okay. Oof.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty easy to figure out that he is breathing and then he's knocked unconscious.
Okay.
So that's what you find. Meepers, you're towards the end of the umbilical. What do you want to do? What are you attempting to do, partner?
Well, my thought is I want to get down there and secure that into the umbilical cord because our ship is screwed, and I don't want these guys just taking off without us.
Okay.
I see these guys as either a way to repair our ship or as our transportation out of the system or whatever.
Okay. What are you doing?
I want to get down to that other end of the umbilical cord, and just kind of like secure that room.
Okay. So you go charging down there. All right. You're just gonna charge into the opposite room then. Pretty much.
Yeah,
Right?
I'm not like a combat guy. I wouldn't know to like sneak around and check
Right.
corners and shit like that. So I just basically go.
Well, there really are no corners to check. I mean, it's a straight shot. Boom. You enter another room, so it's dicey at best. Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty much just gonna basically run into the room with the 2 blaster pistols and just just pray.
I love it. I love what you're doing with your character. Go ahead and give yourself a character point for role playing and not metamechanic it. All
So,
right.
Cool.
Yep. So you go charging in there. So you go charging down there. You've got a Celestin war cry, meeper, meeper, and you run into the other room, and you stop immediately, and you hear, and there's like weapons warming up, and there's like about 6 guys with weapons just dropped on you. What do you want to do, Meeper?
I hold my hands up in the air like a surrender, and I let like the blaster pistols just like fall with my like fingers in the pistol grip, or not in the trigger guards, just kind of swinging in midair like back and forth, and I'm just kind of look at the guys and I go meep.
Yeah. I figured you'd probably just kick the ground and go meep, meeper. All right. Heading on back to you, Rito. You're the only one that's still moving around the ship, partner.
right.
What are you doing?
I'm going to sneak around, look for the captain.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to holler out for Dax.
Okay. That's you know what, and that's fine. So you yell out for Dax, and you don't hear anything. You call out again. Go ahead and make a perception roll for me.
Okay.
Oh, awesome! Yep, you do hear some rustling, as though a person is moving opposite hallway. They are moving loud enough. You can definitely hear them. So if you want to, you can head down the hall, immediately take a right, and that would be the hallway leading to the engineering section.
All right, so I'm going to head in that direction. But I'm just going to move slowly. I'm not going to move it because there could be more of these guys out there.
Definitely. All right. You make your way up there. You sort of slowly peer around the corner. You see one of these guys in vac suit armor. He has Dax on the ground in front of him. Dax appears to be handcuffed in front of himself with bracelets of some type, and the person is standing there. He's speaking into a comm link, and let's see. Does he see you, sir? And I'm going to give you a bonus because you're being kind of sneaky. He sees you.
Ah, shit.
All right, roll me initiative, sir.
Okay.
All right. You see him looking up at you, and he drops his weapon to the back of Dax's head.
As soon as I see
Come on out.
I holster my weapon and I put my hands up, and I come out.
Good choice. Don't need to be making this any harder than it is. It's just business. Throw your weapon out.
I slowly reach for my unthreatening, grab for my blaster, and I throw it in front of him.
Okay. I tell you what, you guys are almost not worth it. I'm telling you that right now. But look, I'm not a person to hold a grudge. So you make it easy the rest of the way through. I'll make sure that you make it. You got it?
All right, fine.
Okay. All right, I'm going to reach back behind me. I'm going to grab some handcuffs. I'm going to toss them to you. I want you to put them on. Okay? No funny business. He reaches behind, grabs them, bracelets, throws them to you. Catch them?
I catch him.
All right. All right now, buddy. Nothing funny. Just put them on, and let's move on with our day, huh?
All right, so I put them on.
Okay. Are you gonna do anything like special? Are you gonna try to like slay the hand so that you can kind of make it look like they're not going on? Or are you just gonna put them on?
That's what I want to do. I wanted to see if I could do that or not.
Do you have slay the hand?
No, I don't. At least I
All
don't
right, which
think
that'll default to Dex. So go ahead and roll your Dex for me,
Okay.
and that'll be resisted by his perception.
Did I see that right? Okay, there we go. Just making sure. You said Dex, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. Complication possibly. Let's see what happens. Nope. But you rolled a 3, a 5. Want to spend any character points on that, or just kind of go, okay, you got me.
Okay, you got me.
All right. And he raises the blaster towards you. I swear to God, if you don't put them on, I'm going to shoot you.
Okay. All right, no problem. So I slip them on, and
Okay.
you know.
And he mumbles, you know what? You give a person a break. You tell them you do this, blah 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 blah, and he like looks up you and he just shoots you into unconsciousness. Boom. So there you go. Boom. You are unconscious. Meepers, they come forward. They do not treat you badly. They remove your weapons and they manacle you up. Okay. They go over and have you sit on the floor, over to the side. There's quite a number of these guys walking around. Most of these guys are not in vac suits at this point. The people that you're seeing now seem to be in a lot of different types of dress. There seems to be something kind of familiar about the way they dress, but you're not 100% sure. People are exiting, going on the umbilical, coming on over, starting to bring back people. You see Jarl being brought back, being carried by 2 people. You see Ubben. You see Dax. You see the whole crew being brought back.
The only one conscious is me.
The only one conscious is you. The rest could be dead for all you know. No one's really
Yeah.
told you anything. So basically, you're seeing your crew basically just brought in here, march past you. You don't know where they're going with the bodies. Could be dead, might not. No one's giving you any information.
Dirk Meepers, Captain.
Yeah. All right. So at that point, let's see what happens. Okay. Everybody is making their way towards that way. You guys are put in a cargo hold area is where you're going to be put into because they don't have a brig or anything like that big enough for you guys here. So, Meeps, you're being marched out, and as you're heading out there, you see that there is a viewport immediately to your right in the hallway, and you see outside another ship right next to this one, and it looks like that.
Do I have any idea what kind of ship that might be?
Go ahead and just make a straight knowledge roll for me. And I'm going to give you some bonuses for that because you are a pilot and a almost a freighter captain. So. That is a great roll. You recognize the insignia on the outside of the ship belongs to a group of bloodthirsty pirates known as the Blood Rangers.
Great. So do I know what these guys are into? Are they just like pirates? Are they slavers? Are they spice runners? Do I know anything like that?
They do a lot of things. They have a reputation of being into a lot of different things, but mostly into ships and hijacks and stuff like that. So at that point, you're taken up, immediately make a left turn, and there's 2 people behind you with blasters, and you walk into the cargo area. You see the rest of your companions are lying about the ground, or I'm sorry, on the floor. There's a couple of med kits on the floor in there with you,
Mhm.
and you guys see the two guys that marched you up there are standing guard in front of you, and you see another person walk behind them. And this guy has a very long coat on, big collar, a white hat, sort of at a cocked angle. He's got a great big mustache, and two cybernetic eyes and a cybernetic hand. You see him standing there, and he's got a bit of a cane. And you see him kind of like straddle his legs a little bit, and lean forward on the cane. Welcome aboard, mateys. And the camera goes to black.
You son of a bitch.
There you go.
Well, I guess he's talking to me because everybody else is unconscious. Welcome aboard, Sulston, mate.
All right, and then the door closes on that. So basically, it's not going to go to black. What's going to happen is you're inside that cargo room, looking down the hallway at him. He says, "Welcome aboard, matey," and the cargo door is shut in front of you. Clank. Then it goes to black. All right. Any questions about the story and adventure tonight that you guys have?
Nope. Those are pretty awesome.
Okay. Dave, my California Dave, any questions, buddy, about the adventure tonight?
It was pretty solid, man.
Okay. I'm glad that you liked it. I mean, you didn't have any questions or anything like that that I could maybe elaborate on or answer for you?
Well, I'm a bit curious as to why I didn't get a perception roll.
Because this person came from behind and you were facing the opposite direction.
Ah,
So I figured that I figured that your attention or the character's attention was towards Rito because that's specifically what you said you were doing, was that you were looking down or trying to give Rito cover. This person approached from an opposite side, and I didn't think that it was reasonable to give you a perception roll for something like that. It was almost as though he had gotten the drop on you.
all right.
So that was just sort of a game master fiat. I just made that decision.
Okay. Should have been watching the 6, I suppose.
Maybe. I mean, it's you're not a combat person. You're an archaeologist.
Yeah, I just at first I thought he would try to play it smart and hide, but then I thought
I'm
about
kind of surprised you didn't actually.
I thought about the personality some more, and I thought, well, if he sees everything this way and he's naive a little bit, he probably would have grown up in an environment that allowed him to sort of romanticize combat a bit.
I do like your idea that the personality that I wrote up for him was that he was sort of a person that sort of lacked a lot of significant social skills. He was about the understanding and finding hidden knowledge, and his area of expertise is to find out what information he can about the Bendu Jedi, which is a forbidden subject anyway by the Empire. And that that alone gets him into a lot of trouble. But he does have a number of benefactors that seem to be able to afford him some political protection, as well as some funds to continue his research and his archaeological digs. But whenever he seems to get into social situations, he doesn't have time for politics or niceties. And so a lot of times he'll say stuff to the wrong people and just piss off the wrong ones.
Okay.
That was sort of the idea I had for it. But again, this is an NPC, and as you're playing it and stuff like that, I mean, this is a pre-gen character. I mean, you can add your own flavor to it and so on. All right, so no questions about the adventure. Any questions about the mechanics tonight, or anything that anybody would like to see differently, or lobby, or make suggestions on?
No?
I can't think of anything.
Pretty good.
Okay.
Pretty straightforward.
Okay, I'm going to award everybody 3 character points for an outstanding game session tonight on the role-play end of it. Jared and Pat, I definitely want to, and you as well, Dave, my New Jersey Dave. You guys did a really good job tonight, not letting the meta mechanics decide what you are going to do. You let the role playing and the situation do it for you. Guys, outstanding. I am so happy with the three of you tonight. And don't feel like California Dave that I'm excluding you, but I mean these guys really did. They really kind of rised above and beyond. And I, as a game master, am just absolutely tickled pink. Thank you guys.
No problem.
Yeah, this seems like the way it's meant to be played.
Well, I gotta tell you what, man. I really, really like the D6 rules. I've played D20. I've played Saga. I've played Edge of the Empire. I keep coming back to this set of mechanics.
Yeah.
3 additional.
Have you checked out the core books Weston Games put out when they came back briefly?
Are you talking about the Open D6 books?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've taken a look at those. All right, so I tell you what, guys. If there's nothing more pertaining to the game, or any additional questions about mechanics, the story, etc., I'm going to go ahead and kill the feed, and we can sit around and chat a little bit more if you'd like.
Cool.
So, last call. Any questions on the adventure or mechanics?
Nope.
I have a bit of a question. Is this character I got? This is just the sort of like a trial run for me, right?
That is correct.
Okay, so like he's not going to be the character I'm stuck with.
No. If you decided that this was something that you wanted to pursue, and I get a chance to talk with other people, and collectively we decide, look, this is going to be a good mix, or if we want to, or people decide that they want to extend, probationary period, if you want to call it that, another game session, kind of see how things further develop, I will certainly let you know. But as it stands right now, in my book, you're more than welcome to come back next week. If you want to play Ubin, that would be great. That's really kind of up to you. You may want to just play Ubin until the end of this adventure, and then introduce your character after this for the next adventure. Or, depending upon what your character is and how we can make it make sense, maybe we can add him to this one. It really kind of depends on what you want to do.
Okay. Well, I'd love to come back, though.
Okay. Hopefully you had a good time tonight. I know that my game style is a bit different, and perhaps I'm not really sure how familiar you are with the rules or anything like that.
I'm not terribly familiar with the rules. I've run it a few times.
Okay. Tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and stop the broadcast then. All right.